Mr. Whitaker, welcome. Good to have you with us. Let's go through these things. You look at, I don't know how many metrics here. You polled people and asked them what was most, maybe it's 15 metrics. And the thing that was number one was pays a fair living wage. That's what people want out of these big companies.
Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's actually 20 issues. Those issues themselves come from years of surveying the American people on a fully representative basis. We've been doing this a long time now. Those are the things that rise to the top. And when we ask them to weight those issues, which we do every year, this has been at the top or at close to the top of the list really from the beginning. You know, a just company, in the eyes of the American people, pays its workers a fair and livable wage. And I think that sort of taps into, you know, a fear and a concern that many working Americans have about being able to make ends meet. And I know we've spent a lot of time on that subject of what is a fair wage, what is a livable wage, and why is it good for business to provide those things.
Yeah, I think what I like to do when I see surveys like this is look at changes and percent changes. And while this pays a fair living wage has been at the top or among the top three in 2021, it gained 6 percentage points from last year. Item number 2 is creates jobs in the U.S. And this issue rose to number 2 in relative importance, up 8 slots from 2020. Why?
Well, I think what you've seen with COVID, the economic shutdown and reopening, is just a huge amount of uncertainty in employment. And you see that now with the number of jobs that are open, about 11 million jobs, I think, in the last report. The number of people quitting jobs, I think there's a massive turnover happening, and people are feeling generally insecure about that. So when you ask folks, what does a just company do? And creating good jobs, especially, I might add, in communities that need them the most, you get this quite astounding agreement among a lot of Americans that that is something that a company today, you know, really must prioritize. And companies that do that, you know, are going to be, you know, better employers, better able to attract and retain talent.
Martin, I was also noting that creating jobs in the U.S. seems to be rising in importance. Talk about that.
Well, I think people are fearful of losing their jobs. They're fearful of job security. Obviously, you know, they're worried about companies exporting jobs or, you know, moving jobs overseas. And I think people are really concerned about being able to provide for their families and be able to provide for their futures.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that jobs, and I think when you look overall about employment overall, I think the relationship between American companies and their workers is the story here. That's what's changing. You know, you got the gig economy. People are fearful of what, you know, automation means for their jobs. So I think there's a general level of anxiety about the future of a good job and what that means in America today.